The 2-2 Patriots take on the Bucks for a Thursday night showdown. What's up, guys? Brock Page here, and I do random sports picks for fun. New England opened up as the 5-point favorites in this one, total at 53.5. Since the betting opened up, lots of early money on the Buccaneers. The Patriots are now just -4, with the total moving upward to an even 54. Currently, the Pats are the moneyline favorites, and at the moment, 63% of the current money is back on the Patriots, so look for us to get back to that original opening number here shortly. Speaking of the money on the Patriots, they're 1-0 against the spread on the road so far on the year. They're also 1-0 against the number as the official road favorite. In addition to all that, this Patriots team is 1-0 in their lone game at the current posted total. The Patriots have marquee wins over the likes of Houston and New Orleans. They're also going up against a Tampa team who's failed to cover over the likes of Minnesota and the New York Giants. All said and done, the case for the Patriots can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I will do. I'm going to disagree with the betting public on this one. Give me New England -4 and winning it outright on the road. And when it comes to the totals, Tampa games are 2-0 to the overs in their last two. Meanwhile, on the other side, Pats games are an amazing 4-0 to the overs themselves. That's all I need to know. I'm going to fully agree with the betting public when it comes to the total. Give me the over 54 in this one. All told, I like the Patriots and the over. Next game I have for you, it is going to be Jets at the Browns. Cleveland opened up as the 1.5-point favorites with the total at 39.5. Since it opened, early money's come pouring in on the Browns to get it done. Cleveland's now laying 2.5 with the total moving downward to 38.5. Currently, the Cleveland Browns are the moneyline favorites to win it outright. And at the moment, just about 50% of the bettors are backing up Cleveland with their money. The Browns have struggled to win and cover so far on the year. They're just 1-3 against the number overall and 0-1 as the favorite. And to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time Cleveland was favored 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if that's good karma or bad karma, but regardless, they're going up against a 2-2 Jets team who's 1-0 against the number versus teams under 500. New York's also got marquee wins and covers over the likes of Jacksonville and Miami. With all that in mind, the case for the visiting Jets can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I will do. I'm going to buy the hook and disagree with the early bettors. Give me New York +3, covering and winning it outright. And when it comes to the scoring, 2 out of the Jets' last 3 games have actually gone over the closing number. Meanwhile, Cleveland games are 1-1 to the overs in their last 2 themselves. That said, the case for the over can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I will do. I'm going to disagree with the bettors on this one. Give me the over 38.5. All told, I like the New York Jets. Wow. And the over. Next matchup, Carolina at Detroit. The Lions opened up 2.5 with the total at 43.5. Since the betting opened up, most of that early money's come in on the Lions. This Detroit squad is now -3 against the spread with the total remaining stagnant at an even 43.5. Currently, the Panthers are the dogs to win it. And at the moment, nearly 60% of the current money's on the Lions to cover. So look for that spread to possibly get to 3.5 or 4 by the end of business today. And speaking of the spread, the Lions have been real good covering. They've been a real good covering team so far in the first quarter of the season, folks. The Lions are 3-1 against the number overall. They have marquee wins and covers over the Cardinals, Giants, and Vikings. They're going up against a Panthers team who's failed to cover 2 of 4 overall. One of those missed covers came by way of a 21-point outright loss to divisional foe New Orleans. Having said all that, the case for Detroit bettors can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, folks. I'm in full concurrence with the public on this one. Give me the Lions -3 and winning it outright for some moneyline cash. And when it comes to scoring, 2 out of Detroit's last 3 games have fell under the posted total. Meanwhile, 2 out of Carolina's previous 3 games also went under the line before yesterday's action. That said, the case for the under can certainly be made, and I'll take it myself. Give me the under 43.5 in this one. All told, I like the Lions and the under. Next contest, Niners at the Colts. Vegas opened this one up as a pick'em contest at Lucas Oil. Since the betting opened up, however, we've seen a good amount of that early money come pouring in on the Colts. Right now, Indy's laying 3 points at home for this 1 o'clock matchup. Currently, there's no posted total. Despite going winless as expected, This 49ers squad has actually been a very good covering team thus far. They're 3-1 against the spread overall and have covered their last 3 straight. They're currently 2-0 against the number on the road and covered both of their matchups as the official road underdog. In addition to all that, their covers have come over the likes of Seattle, the LA Rams, and the Arizona Cardinals. They're going up against an Indy team who's just 1-3 on the year and has failed to cover over the likes of the Rams and the Seahawks. All said and done, the case for the Niners can certainly be made. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm in full disagreement with the public money on this one. Give me the Niners +3 and winning it outright for some money line cash. And when it comes to the scoring, like I said, there's currently no posted total, but here's some food for thought for you guys. Indy games are 3-1 to the over so far on the year. Meanwhile, completely different story on the other side, as San Fran games are 3-1 to the unders in their last 4 themselves. It will be definitely interesting to see where this line opens up at. All said and done, however, I think we'll see ourselves a combined point total of about 46 total points. That will be my pick on the total relative to the actual posted number. All told, I like the Niners and 46 total points. Next matchup I have for you. It is going to be Tennessee at Miami. This should be an interesting one. Both teams coming off a putrid performance in Week 4. Currently, I've got the books with Tennessee -2.5 on the road. I still got nothing for you on the total here, guys. And I said it earlier in the year, I get this feeling that this Titans team has been a fraudulent program. That said, they're going up against a Miami team who's just abysmal when it comes to scoring points. Jay Cutler is clearly not a winner. The Dolphins have covered just 1 of 3 games overall on the year. They've also covered just 1 of 3 games versus teams allowing over 25 points a game. Wow, that's a terrible stat. And even worse, they failed to cover over the likes of the Jets and the Saints. They're going up against a Titans team who's covered 2 of their last 3, with marquee covers over the likes of Seattle and Jacksonville. With all that in mind, the case for the visiting Titans can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the hook and take Tennessee -2 and winning it outright for some money line cash. And when it comes to the total, like I said, guys, there's currently no opening number as of yet, but keep in mind, guys, that this Tennessee team is 3-0 to the overs in their last 3 contests, with their most recent game reaching a total of a rotund 71 points. But if you think that the over is a lock in this one, just remember that Miami's 3-0 to the unders in their 3 matchups on the year themselves. They're also averaging a measly 8 points of scoring per game. All said and done, however, I think we'll level out at a combined point total of 44. So all told, I like the Titans and 44 total points. Next game, Buffalo at Cincy. I'm really liking the line on this one, guys. The Buffalo Bills opened up as the 2.5-point underdogs, and the total at 38.5. Since the betting opened up, even more money has come in against Buffalo. Their opponents, the Cincinnati Bengals, are now -3.5 against the spread, with the total moving upward to an even 39 points. Currently, Cincy's the moneyline favorites to win it outright, and at the moment, 61% of the public money is back on Buffalo, taking advantage of these very advantageous lines. Folks, I'm going to be honest, one of the most recreational public bettors, when they see the line on this one, they're going to jump on it. I really would not be shocked to see a flip of the lines on this one. I know that sounds crazy, but this Buffalo team has looked really good in some spots so far this year. And speaking of which, these very Buffalo Bills are a perfect, unblemished 4-0 against the spread overall on the year. They're 3-0 against the number as the official Vegas underdog and successfully covered their 2 games as the official road underdog. They have marquee outright wins over the likes of Denver and Atlanta. They have marquee covers over the likes of Denver and Atlanta, along with Carolina and the Jets. The Bills are going up against a Cincinnati team who's 0-2 against the number at home. The Bengals are also 8 winless, 0-2 against the spread as the official home favorite. With all the aforementioned in mind, the case for the visiting Buffalo Bills can certainly be made. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy the hook and take Buffalo +4 and winning it outright for some money line cash. And when it comes to the scoring, 3 out of both teams, 4 games on the year, have gone under the posted total. Buffalo's also given up no more than 17 points a game on the year. Meanwhile, on the other side, since he was averaging just 11 points of scoring per game before last week's contest, Having said all that, the case for under bettors can certainly be made in this one. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to disagree with the public money on the total. Give me the under 39 in this one. All told, I like the Bills and the under. Next contest, LA Chargers at the New York Giants. Somebody has to win, right? The betting in this one opened up the G-Men as the 3.5-point favorites, and the total at an even 44 points. Since the betting opened up, most of that early money has come pouring in on the G-Men to get the job done. No real surprise there. Right now, the New York Football Giants are minus 4.5, with the total moving upward to an even 45 points. Currently, the Giants are the $2 favorites on the money line. And at the moment, 61% of the public money is on New York to get the job done. And undeservedly so, because this Giants team is a winless 0-1 against the number at home and winless as the official Vegas favorite. In addition to going 0-1 against the spread as the official home favorite as well, this Giant team has failed to cover over the likes of Detroit and Dallas. They also failed to cover in 2 of their previous 3 before last week's action. They're going up against a Charger team who's 2-2 against the number, depending on where you're shopping. And one of those covers actually came on the road in the unfriendly confines of Mile High Stadium. All that said, the case for LA can certainly be made. And that's exactly what I'm going to do in this one. I'm in full disagreement with the bettors. I'm going to buy the hook and take the LA Chargers +5, getting the job done against the spread. Having said that, though, keep in mind that the Giants' last 2 losses came by 2 and 3 points respectively. Meanwhile, Charger losses have come by an average of 2 points a game, with the exception of the KC game themselves. So I do think this one will be close, but I do think the Giants can sneak out a win at home. They got to win a game at some point this year. So I'm going to agree with the betting public when it comes to an outright winner and take the Giants to win it outright in this one. And when it comes to the scoring, 2 out of New York's previous 3 games went under the posted total before last week's action. Meanwhile, Charger games are 2-1 to the unders in their last 3 themselves. All in all, the case for under bettors can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I'm going to do as well. I'll disagree with the public on this one too. Give me the under 45 points. All told, I like the Chargers +5, with the G-Men winning it outright and the under 45. Next matchup, it does have all the makings of actually being a good one. I am talking about Arizona at Philadelphia. The Eagles opened up as the 6-point favorites, and the total at 45.5. Since the betting opened up, we've seen a lot of that early money come pouring in on the Eagles as expected. Right now, Philadelphia is minus 6.5 against the spread, with the total moving downward to 44.5 points. Currently, Philly's the $2.90 favorites to win it outright. And at the moment, 56% of the current money is still on the Eagles to get the job done. And speaking of the Eagles, they're an impressive 3-1 on the year in the outright game, and also have marquee covers over the likes of Washington and the Chargers. They're going up against an Arizona team who failed to cover the spread in all 4 of their games this year. This Arizona team's a winless 0-4 against the number, failing to cover against the likes of Indy and San Francisco. All in all, the case for the Eagles can certainly be made, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm in full agreement with the betting public on this one. I'm also going to buy it down and take the Philadelphia Eagles -6, winning it outright for some money line cash. And when it comes to the scoring, Philly games are 3-0 to the overs in their last 3. They're also averaging 26 points of scoring per contest. Meanwhile, on the other side, this Cards defense has given up 35 and 28 points respectively in 2 of their 4 games on the year. I think we could see a good amount of scoring in this one. All said and done, I'm going to once again disagree with the betting public and take the over 44.5 in this one. All told, I like the Eagles and the over. All right, folks, I'm going to slide into my next and final game for the show. I'm talking about Jacksonville +9.5 at Pittsburgh, with a total at 44.5. Currently, the Steelers are the 4-1 money line favorites, but at the moment, just 34% of the money is actually on the Steelers to get the job done. So if you're a Jags bettor, get those picks in now. Your number's only going to get smaller. And speaking of the Jags, they've actually been a fairly decent covering team on the year. Before last week's action, they covered 2 of their previous 3. They've also covered an impressive 2 of 3 on the road this year, and they're 2-1 against the spread as the official Vegas favorite. Most impressive, this Jacksonville squad is a perfect 2-0 against the spread as the official road underdog. They're going up against a Steeler team who failed to cover against the likes of Cleveland and Chicago. And actually, that Chicago game was a 6-point outright loss, even though Pittsburgh was favored by a touchdown. Anyway, the case for the Jags to cover in this one can certainly be made, and that's what I'll do. I'm going to buy the hook and take Jacksonville plus 10 for the cover. I do, however, think this 3-1 Pittsburgh team is much better on both sides of the ball and definitely at home. So I'm going to pick them to win it outright. And when it comes to the scoring, Pittsburgh games are 4-0 to the unders on the year. They're also giving up just 14 points per game on the year. Meanwhile, Jacksonville is giving up just 7 points per game in their 2 wins on the year themselves. All that said, the case for the under bettors can certainly be made. Yeah, I'll take it too. All told, I like the Jags plus 10, the Steelers winning it outright, and the under. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me for the early games of Week 5. Once again, I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.